Hello everyone, it's been a while, but today I have something special to show you, and I have released a new watercolor, well, not new, a watercolor brush pack. It's volume 6 that it's new, and yeah, I've been wanting to make a watercolor brush pack until volume 4, but I didn't feel I was ready to make because watercolors are not my medium and I wanted to try to improve my skills. So they are finally here. And yeah, I'm really happy with them. So I wanted to show you how I use the brushes, how they work, so you have an idea before buying them or committing to them. So yeah, whatever. Let's go to it and I will show you the pack. So first let me show you which are the brushes. You will have lines, dry brushes, watercolors, washes, texture papers, paper textures, and spatters. So there's a couple of ones down below. And we'll start with the line ones. And this first pencil brush is the one I have used in this illustration. This illustration, you will have it for free in the back, so you can take a look through it. It will have all the layers on it, so you can look at it. And as you can see, I use this one. This brush is extremely soft, so you will need to put it on multiply and duplicate it if you want a darker look. But I actually like the brushes that behave this way because they are way easier to match the color that you like, because you just need to duplicate the layer and that's it. Let me show you how it looks in here. So as you can see, if you add pressure, it goes bigger on size and darker. The next one is a felt tip marker. So it behaves like a marker that it's almost dry. So it's really nice to use it for sketching or even for for writing. So that's it, but I like it to use it for sketching because I don't know, this kind of discontinued lines and everything looks like an actual quick sketch. The next one is the watercolor lines, and this one is the first one that you will find that it's actually made for watercolors. The next one is the watercolor lines. So this one, it looks like a real watercolor, but it's made to be used for drawing lines, because then you will find the other ones for backgrounds and watercolor textures. So this one is special for lines. You have this super soft texture into it that looks like some kind of paper, and you can add pressure and it has some washes. And that's because you can do it super soft, and if you go darker, it starts to stain the other part of the color, so it looks really nice. The other one are the white wash, that you can use it on the same layer as the color because it won't happen anything. So you need to create a new layer. And as you can see, it looks amazing. And I was going exactly for that white tone that wash creates, especially when it's a little bit watered down. So it has this, like, it's super hard to put a perfect white on an illustration. So I was going for that because if you want to achieve like a real watercolor illustration on digital, you also need the other mediums, pencils, pencil colors and gouache to be at the same point, you know, that everything looks cohesive. So I was going for that, and I think I really like it because if you doesn't add much pressure, you can see the color going underneath from it. I don't know, it's perfect. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. And also you will have the black wash, but it's actually for use it with any color. So, and as you can see, this one also have the same brush texture. And also you can see a little bit of the color that goes underneath. But I call it black wash because I was thinking on that pencil that, it's not a pencil, it's a brush pencil that for me is extremely difficult to use, because if you go super, you add a lot of pressure, it looks like this. And if you add a more, you can do super thin lines, but they are with no ink at all. The next one is the dry brushes, which are similar, but not the same. The first one is extremely broad. So you can have texture to one side, to the other, however you want. And I love this to put super quick shadows on the background, on the drawings. And also you can use it for erasing. As you can see, it has this lovely texture. So if you don't like it so dark, you can go as many times as you want over it. And it looks really nice. But it was way too big, so I made it smaller, and this smaller one also is has the lines more defined. So it looks like almost like it was made to draw hair with it. It's really nice. And the other one, this dusty one, since it's made with two, as you can see here, with two brushes, the brush that is behind is kind of dusty. So you have, as you can, if I compare these ones, this one is more, you can see the lines, and the other one, there's something behind, like if you smash it with your hand. So it's more like carbonate. The watercolor ink is the one that is similar to the watercolor lines. And as you can see, it behaves similar. If you add pressure to it, it will stain the whole thing. But you can go super soft with it, and it has a lovely paper texture underneath. The next one, these ones, the washes and watercolors are perfect for backgrounds, for putting color on the illustration, for adding texture, for wherever you want to use them. They are perfect. Just choose the one that you feel better with it, and that you feel that it fits nicely. And even if you want added texture, use the dry brushes on top with a multiply effect, and that will be more than enough. The hard water one, as you can see, is super opaque. But even if you try to go super dark, you will still have this watercolor texture to it. So let me put it with color so you can see how it looks. As you can see, you have the texture underneath. And the same happens with the mid water and soft water. They are kind of similar, but with this one, the effect, watercolor effect, is more noticeable. And with the soft water, it's even more. But it's harder to go darker with the softer one. So you have the range of 3, and you can, as always, you can duplicate, and you will have a more darker. The washes, I could call it watercolor ones, but I felt that these ones were a bit different. They behave different. As you can see, you have this edge, this wet edge around here. They behave like if you were using multiply. If you go over the same spot, it will go darker, like a real watercolor. The watery one was like similar to this one, but more watery, as the name tells. And you can also go extremely, extremely soft. And it looks like if you were blending the watercolor. And the other one, the Papery soft, is similar to the other ones, but instead of that watercolor, the watercolor effect is created by the strokes. and the texture you can see underneath is paper instead of just a watercolor. So it's a bit different. So you still have these wet edges around here, but it's more softer than the other ones. And now we are into the paper textures. So instead of adding just like an image with an scanned paper, I thought it would be nicer if I did all of them as brushes. So as you can see, this is just a regular brush. You can add texture over it, but if you want to go in one go, you will have to be a bit careful and just try to do it in one go. So, because if you lift the pencil and go over it, it will create this multiply effect, which is kind of unavoidable at some point, but the other ones behave similar. So we have, as the washes, we also have these three different. All the textures are different, but also the opacitors are different. So let me duplicate it a couple times so you can see the texture. So these couple ones are, this is more like a sketch paper, this is mixed media, and this is a watercolor paper. No, sorry, this one is also watercolor paper. So now for the spatters, this one has well, it's not super big because I don't really like to be that big because I don't find it useful, and when you make spatters they are always small. So the big one, what I mean is that you have these big spots over here, while in the small one there's almost no big spots. It's like the small one, it behaves like it was freckles, so you can use it for that if you like it. They are really, really nice. And if you want bigger ones, but this doesn't look like freckles, this actually looks like ink. So I tried to make, it's actually really hard to make, but I try my best so they are as seamless as possible. And I think I managed to do that pretty much for all my brushes on all the packs I have. So I know that some of you are worried about that. And I always work with this kind of canvas. These are the kind of canvas I use. So it's kind of a standard for me. And even if you go bigger, it will work. If you want to use these brushes with commissions and work for books or something like that, they will work perfectly. So don't worry about that. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Let me know if you have any questions about this pack or any other pack. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!